Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us here today. Just talking about new product features. My name is Blake. I'm your customer success manager. I'm looking forward to um, chatting with you guys about this. We're going to get started here in just a minute. I know we're just 2 minutes past, so just one more minute maybe to let other people come in. Okay, my name is Blake. I'm your CSM, or one of the CSMs here to support you. Our customer success managers are dedicated to making you understand the product or helping you understand the platform, helping you understand the features that you have access to, making sure you get more value out of your Concord account. And as a CSM, I really love these kinds of topics, the new product features, because it's always fun to talk about new cool things that Concord can do. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys like it too. I'm gonna get started here in just one more minute. We're gonna get started. Yeah, just here, one more minute. Um, Again, my name is Blake. I'm your customer success manager for those just joining us. We're talking about new product features. So this is our monthly recap, our monthly product recap to talk about kind of what's going on in your Concord account. You can come back every month. We're gonna around the same time every month have just basically a look back at what we released. If you've been regularly attending these, you might see some greatest hits or some things that you recognize. But we're really excited. We just want to let you know that they're available on your account right now. So get excited and start using them and let us know your feedback. So we're going to get started and continue to talk about what we got going on. So I'm going to go into more detail about these, but these are the features that we're going to cover in our September recap of our product updates. Might demo a couple things, and then as always, we'll have time for Q&A at the end. So what I want to make sure to encourage you to do is go to the chat, go to the Q&A. If you have questions during the presentation, just feel free to send them into the chat or the Q&A. I'm here to help you, and so there's a chance I might ignore them until the very end, but if they're specifically covering the topics that we're covering, I'll absolutely take them there. But no question will go unanswered. I just might cover some of them in the end. So please feel free to go there and ask your questions. And then what we'll finish with our next month's goals and what we're talking about. So custom property upgrades. So properties have been around since about July or midsummer, but we're constantly making updates. We're going to constantly improve them. You're going to start seeing things improve with the custom properties, but also you'll start to see a little teaser, some cool features that revolve around custom properties. So guys, if you aren't using custom properties, I want to encourage you to check them out. If you don't understand them, reach out to your CSM so that they can show you them. Everybody here, if you have a Concord account, regardless of what subscription you have custom properties on your account, and you can start benefiting from them right now. Let's talk about the upgrades that we made to them. So first off, we added some new custom property types, like currency, for example. You can now, instead of choosing just like a number field, you can choose a currency field, and you can choose your currency there. We also, really great feature that we're excited about is bulk apply custom properties. And what I'm going to merge or kind of talk about at the same time is also filter with custom properties. And so some of you guys are used to using tags a lot. And so what the bulk apply custom properties allows you to do is allow you to kind of like shift from the tag structure to the property structure. I don't want to freak all of you guys out. If you love your tags, keep using them. But because of this new ability to filter with custom properties, it's basically you now get the same functionality with tags, but it's way better. I have a question here in the chat. Being able to bulk apply custom properties is absolutely great. Wondering if bulk applying lifecycle terms, even if only the most basic, is on the roadmap. Great question. It's not currently on the roadmap to my knowledge, but to your point, we'll record it for you and we'll make sure the product team knows about it because I understand what you're saying. So what this customer is asking is, So the second bullet here, bulk apply custom properties, means you can click multiple documents, or you can scroll to 100 and you can select up to 100 documents and bulk add properties, either blank or even add their values. And so this customer is just asking, can you do that with lifecycle details? Not yet, but I like it. It's great feedback that we'll make sure the product team hears about. So those are the new custom property upgrades. If you guys don't understand what we're talking about here with custom properties, again, please reach out to us. All of you have access to custom properties and can benefit from them, can start filtering on them. So reach out to us if you want to be able to see it. So next one, we have bulk signature requests. It's available on your platform. This one kind of snuck under the radar, but it's a really big feature we want you guys to know about. So bulk signature requests, right? If you guys are sending contracts out for signature with Concord, you're probably going into the document, hitting the request signatures button, and it goes through the process. But if you're using maybe bulk send, for example, or if you're just sending out a bunch of documents, or maybe it's like you have 10 documents that you sent out 5 a week ago and then the other 5 a couple days ago, and you want to re-ping them, you can select all the boxes, select actions, and go to requests, and you'll be able to re-request signature or request signatures for documents in bulk. This is pretty big. Great, and we have some more, some more feedback there in the chat. But anyway, bulk signature requests, guys. This is pretty big. Again, to do that, you'll select the boxes next to all your documents, go to actions and request signatures. This one is exciting especially for those of you that are up late or in the evening in Europe or other places. We have different date formats. And so this is a personal setting that each individual can change. But from the settings page, from your personal settings, you can change the date format that Concord will show you. So again, this doesn't impact the actual like deadline reminder, right? This only changes how it's viewed, and so which is a great thing because 1/12/2024 is January 12th, but for some people it's December 1st. But it will always convey accurately in your deadline reminders, but it will just change how you see it. I have a question here, and I'm going to actually backtrack really quickly. Someone asked for the bulk signature request. Is this from the home screen? To answer your question, yes, this is from your home screen. If you hit that Concord logo, that is indeed from the home screen where you can click all of them. It's also from your folders. You can go to your folders as well, but anywhere, any place that you see this list of documents, that's where you can do that action. All right, let's talk about what we're working on next. I hinted at using custom properties for future features. This is kind of where we talk about. So we have new workflows and automations coming to Concord. And so things like if a custom property has this value, then it gets moved to this folder. Workflows and automations, these kind of if-then statements, like if a value is this, then this trigger happens. And so really cool things, guys, as you start thinking about and start building out your properties. Don't build them with the workflows in mind. That'll come naturally later, but start adding your custom properties now because you'll start to benefit from them and start seeing those. Hey, we see some excitement for the workflows. These should be really cool. We're excited there. This one, people that have difficulties or frustrations with getting documents in the right place. We're really excited about this on the CSM team. We just had a demo of it this morning. The ability to drag and drop documents directly into Concord. So first off, you don't have to, this allows you not to just hit the new document button, go to store and track, but rather you can just drag and drop directly into Concord, and you'll be able to conveniently put them in the right folder really easily, really smoothly. This is something that's super cool that we're excited about. And then finally, we're planning on making some upgrades to the HubSpot integration. So if you guys are using the CRM HubSpot, we're going to add more properties that push in HubSpot just for better data syncing. Let me paint a picture. If some of you use HubSpot and you're like, how does it work? How does it connect? Hear me. And this also actually applies to HubSpot and to Salesforce. This is the way that it works. You create a template in Concord with fields, maybe the contact name, the contact address, and the contact phone number. You then go into your CRM, go into that contact or a deal that's associated with them, and you create a contract directly from HubSpot or Salesforce. A draft will then be created in Concord and it will autofill with that contact's information. So these fields that you put into your template the information will autofill into drafts created with that template for you to quickly send out deals. It really expedites the process for your sales team. It's pretty cool. But we're going to add even more properties that push into HubSpot for better data syncing. And here we go. Here's where you guys come in. So we had some excitement in the chat. So I'm talking to you specifically who's excited. We're developing these workflows, that first feature that I talked about for everyday tasks. We want to hear how we can make this valuable to you. As I mentioned, it's kind of these if-then statements. We want to know the ifs and we want to know the thens. What tasks would you guys like to see Concord automate for you? What tasks? If you guys have feedback, don't put them, you can put them in the chat for sure. But really what we would love is if you reach out to your Concord CSM and talk to us. Give us your feedback so that we can deliver it to the product team. I'm pasting a link here in the chat so that you can, nope, that's the wrong one, excuse me. So that you can, let me delete that. That's just a properties help article. It's not bad to see. But we want to hear from you. We want to know the feedback that you guys have for us so that we can make sure we're building tasks and automations that you want to see. So I have something here in the Q&A. Let me read it. So the question here is, when sharing with internal teams, can we set an automation to be set up, or can an automation be set up so that the document/email is sent without adding a note to the discussion tab? That's the idea. So this is great feedback. We'll make sure to hear it. So that's great. That's great feedback for us. Yes, love it. Yes, definitely schedule a meeting with your CSM. We're excited to hear it. We're glad you're excited about it. I'm gonna keep going. Let's talk about our upcoming webinars because we're reaching the end of kind of this one. These ones are short, but we have some more webinars coming up. So here in just a week, we're going to talk about more about those integrations that I talked about. We want to be able to integrate more. We want to show you how we can automate your work processes. So we're going to talk about integrations in a week. A week from then, we're going to talk about roles and teams and the different kind of customization and organization you can have on your Concord account. If these are some things that you guys use, if these are tools that you're using and you want to join me on this call and talk about these things and want your brand promoted, right? If you guys want to have an opportunity to talk about kind of how you guys use Concord, talk about your company or other things, look at this. We need features. We need guests to come in and join us to talk about this. So we would love to have you reach out to your CSM, say, hey, Blake said that we can be on a webinar and we can talk to some folks about what we're doing. We would love to have you. All righty then. So finally, I have another one in Salesforce. If you have Salesforce, is there a link to have a document loaded to Concord for a review process? I believe so. I'll connect with you to kind of get your question to clarify. I'm gonna connect with you just to make sure I understand your process. But the idea is, yes, there is if you're using Salesforce, you can have documents loaded into Concord. Yes, to answer your question, yeah. So even if it's not a document created as a draft, maybe a customer, I hope I'm answering your question. You can give me your feedback here. But what it sounds like is maybe you guys use Salesforce and you have a customer or a contact send you a PDF or send you a contract. It sounds like, does it work that you can upload that into Concord? The answer is yes. Let me know if I answered your question, and maybe I'll even reach out to you individually to make sure I did. But it's a great question. It does. It does work that way. All right, guys. So we're at the end of our presentation here, really, for the new features. I'm going to kind of come back and put the agenda here so you can see these features at a glance. Do you guys have any questions for me, either on these features that came in September, or maybe the new features, or anything on Concord? Do y'all have questions for me? I hope you guys have seen these. I hope you guys know that we're trying to build things that you want. And so when I'm asking for your feedback and we're saying, hey, we want to hear from you, it comes from a genuine place to build things that add value to your account. I'm looking at these here and I'm seeing all things that are available for all plans. So we're not just adding things to the enterprise plans, we're adding things that everybody can benefit from. So we need your feedback in order to build things that you think are cool. Okay, we got a question, and we are in the general question space, so bring on anything. Is there a way to resend a document invitation before it's been moved to the signature phase? I feel like I'm missing it. Yes, there is a way to resend a document invitation before it's moved to the signature phase. This is a great question. Let me show you how to do it. And so this is someone that maybe you send a document out for signature and they just haven't joined yet, and you want to poke them, you want to remind them how to you want to remind them to get into the document. You don't want to push into the signing phase to lock up the document. This person needs to get in and see the document. So I'm going to open up a document in the review stage here, and I'm going to share the document with Michael Scott, and I'm going to send it to him. So the first thing I'll say here, Michael, the invitee has not joined the document yet. The invitee has not joined the document yet. So if that is the case, if they have not joined the document, they will continue to receive a notification every 7 days for a month saying, hey, join the document, hey, join the document. So that will happen automatically. But the question here, is there a way to resend an invitation before? Yes, there is a way. I can come down here. I just sent it out, so we're not going to allow you to resend it, but I'm going to hover over here and I can resend the invitation. There'll be a button to resend the invitation down here. So it's from your search or from your share panel. You will have to do it individually. This is not something you can do in bulk, but there is a way to resend a document invitation. It's going to be down here. And this will keep it in the review stage so Michael can come in and redline with me and mark it up and do all that fun stuff. So great question. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions for me? It can be over new product features or it can be really anything in Concord. What do you got for me? Yeah, wonderful. Here's a question for you guys. We have a lot of customers. Go into that link. Actually, I don't really have a question for you. If you don't know how to reach out to your CSM, go to that link. I know I keep saying that. Some of you may or may not know who we are, but we're here to support you. If we haven't met you yet, we want to go to that link and at least let us know that you need support or that you wanna work together. All of our services come with your subscription, and so if you like this, if you like the opportunity to ask questions and learn about the things that you're already paying for, chat with us. Okay, here's a question here. Would you recommend using properties instead of tags moving forward? Then a follow-up question to that is, will tags ever be removed as a feature? Let me start with the second question. I can't answer it. I don't necessarily know, but what I can say is I definitely would recommend using properties instead of tags going forward. The way I explain tags is it's a custom filter structure where you can, if I go to my tags list, these things that I've created for myself, I've created like dollar ranges, right? Maybe a total contract value is between 10 or 1 and 10K, or between 10 and 100 or over 100. I've created these ranges because that's what's valuable to me. But you're able to create a custom document property that is like anticipated contract value and make it a currency field. And so what you'll be able to do, this ability to filter on currency is coming, but what you'll be able to do is I want to just go to filters, go to custom properties, and instead of seeing a range, right, 10 to 100K is a giant range. $11,000 is much different from $99,000. So what I'll be able to do is come to anticipated contract value and say, I want to see the contracts that are within 91,000 and $99,000, and I can really filter it down. And so I definitely would recommend using properties instead of tags. Now that we have the ability to come in here and bulk add properties down here, add a property, what you can now do is, let's say you can now come in, filter by, maybe I want to filter by my, $0 to $10,000. So I see all these, add some tags or add a property to them, anticipated contract value, and I can type that information in. So you're able to start doing it and kind of migrating. I could see us, because it's kind of accomplishing, properties are kind of accomplishing what tags are already doing, but just doing it better. I could see us encouraging you definitely to do it. So that's a long answer. Something in the Q&A. Thank you for walking through that example. When that person is a signer on the document, it looks like hovering on the use icon doesn't send the resend option. Maybe reach out to us. Let me know. You can either reach out to your CSM. We also have a support email. There we go. It's in the chat there. Reach out to us. Let me know exactly what you're talking about. When they're signer on the document, it doesn't. So it sounds like maybe what you're saying is, if I go to here, we see signers up here. Doesn't allow you to hover over it and do it. That could be the case. They may already be in the document, but I'd love to dig in with you and understand. Can you please explain the difference between custom fields, key terms, and properties? Which would be the best for tracking things where there's a need to input some information on a specific clause or topic? For example, requirements to terminate this contract, and which would be better for where the answer could be picked from a dropdown? Okay, great question. So this first off, there's a question here. What is the difference between custom fields, key terms, and properties? So if we're talking about the example of a dropdown, so actually let me tell you the benefit of properties. It allows you better ways to standardize your data entry. So for example, requirements to terminate this contract. If that's something that you want recorded and it to be standard across all of your documents, properties are the way to go. So properties allow you to standardize your data entry for people to use, and so you can have that requirements property and just have short text for people to type stuff into. So the benefit of properties is standardization of data entry, and then there's also ways that you can leverage that data in your inbox and filters and in reports. So properties are great. Let's talk about key terms. What I like to think of key terms, I like to think of key terms as like the ability to create custom deadlines. So if you're familiar with your deadline reminder that you receive every single week, it has a list of 5 different deadlines on your contract. Most of you are probably only seeing up to 3, but that information, the 3 of the 5 deadlines get pulled from here. There's actually 2 other deadlines that you can add to that spreadsheet, and that comes from the key term section. So if I add a key term here, I'm going to add a custom term. You can create a custom deadline. So I have a customer who has a contract with a landscaping company, and there's a lot obligation for that company to trim the bushes quarterly. And so what I recommended them do, because they want the deadline to show up in that deadline reminder, is to come to key terms, add something that's trim the bushes. When you add a duration or frequency, it will turn into a deadline that'll show up in that reminder. So right now we're here, we have trim the bushes that happens every 3 months. So that's just one of the deadlines. The other one is a financial deadline, which is the exact same kind of thing. Maybe you want to add that you need to receive a payment on a specific date on the spookiest day of the year, October 31st, and you need to know you need to be paid $666 on October 31st, that kind of idea. So you'll be reminded about this. So that's key terms. Think of key terms as kind of a custom deadline. We have here also, we have total agreement value is here. The AI will start pulling this, so that'll show up here as well. Finally, the final question here was custom fields. What is that? This is what people were using to record information up here before we added properties. So custom fields, I would love it if you guys actually maybe cycle, kind of turn away from it, because it's basically all it is. It's custom information. But if you think about just something, a one-off thing that you want to record on one document, I would recommend going here. But this doesn't show in really great ways like the properties feature does in different places on your contract. So, and then finally, I think there's one question here, which would be better for where the answer could be picked from a dropdown. Answer that final question, properties. I have a dropdown here, approval status, approved or rejected. I can create dropdowns and properties. Very long answer. I hope it was beneficial for you guys. But great question. Thanks for asking it. Anybody else have questions? We have 5 minutes left, and we have plenty of time to go over really anything that you guys have. While you're going through it, let me show you kind of how we leverage that information. Keep typing in the chat if you have questions, but I'm just going to keep rambling. the talent of mine. So let's talk about what you can do with the information in properties. So as I mentioned earlier, you can now filter by them. So I can filter, maybe I want to see all of my office locations. This is a drop down. I want to see all of my US locations, and so I'll see it. Maybe I want to see all my UK locations. You can also change your kind of different filters. Maybe it is or it is only, you know, the UK, or maybe it's only in Australia, things like that. And we have this cool little feature here. Maybe what you want to do is you want to bulk add properties, but you don't know the properties for all of these 25 documents right here. So I'm just going to bulk add the custom property approval status. Oops, I did that incorrectly. I'm sorry, bad job. Bulk add the custom property approval status. What'll happen is I can now filter by approval status, but is blank. So the value for there is if I want to bulk add properties and each document could be different, I can now filter by approval status is blank. And so I now can keep track of the 25 or 27 documents that the value is blank on. So I can open it up, add the property, open it up, add the property. Pretty cool. In addition, you can add your properties once they're on documents. You can add them to the inbox. So I have payment terms as a custom property here, so I can see that at a glance here. Pretty cool. And then finally, it'll show up in reports. I don't have really time to show you that, but it's pretty great. I get excited about it. You can't tell. What other questions y'all have for me? Alrighty. We hope you see it. We hope you guys enjoy it. We hope that you see the things that we're doing and building for you guys, but we want more feedback specifically around automation. So go to that link, reach out to that email. We want to hear from you. We want to support you. We want to build things that you want to see. Oh, thank you for the feedback. Thank you. I appreciate that. Guys, we appreciate y'all and the participation that you guys have here. We like the community that we're building, and we're really thankful that you guys participate with us. So thanks right back at you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Thank you, guys.